Hello, music production students. Today we're going to do our first in a series of challenge projects. Now, each of these challenge projects is a limited term project. You start it and end it all in one class period. This gives you the chance to do some real world deadline work, which is often common in music production, for better or worse. So, the information on this project is right where you're watching this video in Canvas. So, if you go to the MP1 Challenge number 1, it gives you all of the specifics laid out in a text document. Now, the idea of this challenge, the theme of this challenge, is to slow it down. When you open a new default project in Logic, the tempo defaults to 120 beats per minute, which that's fine, but if you don't ever change that default tempo, all of your music is the same, and that's boring. So, when you open the project, today, we're all going to do a project at the tempo of 90. So, you can double click on that and type 90, enter, or you can click and drag up and down to adjust that tempo. That's an important skill to know how to do in Logic. Now be careful, because when you add loops to that project, loops are all at a default, like native tempo, and if you put in a loop, you might get an error message saying, do you want your project to import that loop tempo? Like this, and in this case you do not. That will change your project tempo to whatever the native tempo of that loop is, so just be careful. You can always change it back to 90, and that's fine, but make sure the project is at 90. Now, the other thing that you'll need to do for this project, you're going to want this project to be 1 to 2 minutes in length. These numbers up here in the timeline ruler don't represent clock time, they represent musical time in terms of bars or measures. To get clock time, click on this arrow right here in the LCD display and choose one of these, like beats and time large is a good one. Then, wherever you have the playhead, this time indicator tells you what the time is. So right here, that's 22 seconds. If I move the playhead further on out, right here where the playhead's at, that is 1 minute and 10 seconds. So that's another important thing you want to know how to do for this project. So, going back into Canvas, your project needs to have a minimum of 4 tracks. That means you might have like drums and piano and bass and guitar. Those are 4 instruments you might have, so those would be your 4 tracks. You can certainly have more than 4, that's totally fine. I just want to avoid people like putting in 1 track and being like, woohoo, I'm done. So make sure you have at least 4 different instruments going on. You can stagger the timing on that, that's all great. Now, other things looking here in Canvas, minimum of 4 tracks, 1 to 2 minutes in length, tempo set to 90, and you want to make sure it sounds good. The demo I gave you a couple weeks ago where I searched for all those Cuban sounds and then put them all together in a project. That sounded good, I would say, because they were all in the same style and everything all fit together. Now, when you are finished with that project, you're going to want to save and bounce that project. So, in Logic, I have mine already saved correctly. It's saved with my last name dash challenge number 1. So then I'm going to bounce. So I select all, Command A, to make sure I have all of my regions. Then I hit Command B to bounce. These settings should be the default from before, a 16-bit AIFF recording and a 128 kilobit per second MP3. Click OK. Now this is the important part. Leave the bounces right where it wants to. Do not change the location. Put it right where it wants to, click bounce, and you'll be good to go. Then it does that. You can get out of Logic by hitting Command S to save, Command Q to quit. Now, the next step on here after I've bounced it is to copy the entire project folder over to the Music Project server. So here, on the Music Project server, I go to Music Production 1, MP1 Challenges, and here under, well, we'll do the example in first hour, this is where I'm going to put my folder. If I hit Command N, that opens a new Finder window. Now I'm going to navigate to Music, Logic. Here's this. I'm going to copy my entire project folder over to the server. Now, if I still had Logic open right now, it wouldn't let me complete the copy. So if you're having trouble getting it to copy over, make sure logic is closed. Now within that folder I have all of my other content, including bounces. That's on the server. Once I'm done with the server, I can eject from the server and we're good to go. Then the bounces that you created, you have an MP3 and an AIF. The MP3 is what then goes to SoundCloud, copy the embed code, and create a page on Wix. Now, looking back over here into Canvas, here's all the specifics you need for the to add the page to your website. And this also needs to be done within the hour. I told you this is a good time management challenge as well. So once you have the MP3 on SoundCloud, you're going to add a new page to your website, call it MP1 Challenge. And here, if you go back into the home page in Canvas and find this MP1 sample website and click on this link, I've created a new page for you in the sample site. It's called MP1 Challenges. This is exactly what you want your page to look like. Again, this is the demo page. You would put specific text saying, oh, I found these loops and it sounded good because it's all hip-hop or it's all Cuban or whatever. Just 3 to 5 sentences describing your project and the challenge. Then here's your SoundCloud embed. And then here is a screenshot of your project. I'm going to show you how to do that quickly. Oh, I shouldn't have quit out of Logic. So to do a screenshot, the keyboard shortcut for a screenshot is Command-Shift-4. So I hold down Command and then Shift and then 4. Now my cursor turns into these like crosshairs. I can either click and drag to select a region, or this is even better, hit the space bar. That selects the entire active window. Then I click. And that takes a screenshot of that active window that was selected. Now, what it does is once you've done that screenshot, it saves that to your desktop. And that screenshot file right there, that's what you would then add into your Wix website to put in the screenshot. So let me really quickly go back here to the Canvas page. We'll go to Home. We'll just really quickly check on here, and we have completed all of the tasks. So this needs to be all completed by end of class today. It's going to take a lot of focus to make sure that happens. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask or refer back to this video. Otherwise, good luck on your first challenge project.